Lake Michigan College is the #1 community college in Michigan and ranked 13th in the nation. LMC is your community college where they connect you to your future. To learn more, check out lakemichigancollege.edu.
And once again, a great Tuesday morning to you. Joining us here in actually remote studio this morning. Hey, Zack East, how are you doing, sir?
Ken, thanks for letting me to sit at home so I don't have to brave any of the roads that were especially terrible yesterday. But certainly you're trying to improve for today. So there's that.
No, absolutely. And thank you again for filling in last week on the WSJM morning show. I think the complaints have started to drift off a little bit, but other than no. You were great. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. What's going on with United Way of Southwest Michigan?
Well, as of course, as the year comes to a close, you kind of take a look back as an organization at all the things that you've done in the world of nonprofit work. And that's certainly something that we do pretty much all the time. Every week is filled with assessing a lot of numbers and impact, and in particular. And this year was just another stellar year for not only the work that we did at United Way, but really it's about the work that all of the partners that we have at United Way, the 47 organizations that we work with, and the 64 programs that we help fund, and a lot of the volunteer projects that happen throughout the community. Just huge amounts of people impacted. In fact, we did the math. And I'm really glad I'm not responsible for the math, but they gave me the numbers, so
that's good,
right? We impacted a total of 202,668 people throughout the year. From again, all of the programs that are being funded throughout Southwest Michigan, the volunteer impact that happens, the many events that we hold, all of those.
That's incredible. How many again?
Over 202,000 people, and that is. That is certainly a very large percentage of the 3-county area population.
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking about Berrien, Cass, Van Buren counties. I mean, the population is above that, but that's a substantial portion.
It sure is. And if you just looked at Rake a Difference alone as an event, we've talked about that in the past, but it was our record year of volunteers. 1,545 people signed up to do some level of work for Rake a Difference this year. 850 students were served at School Supply Spectacular in Cass County. Over nearly, I should say, $1.3 million in state and federal tax refunds came back to the community from this year's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. We're, of course, gearing up for the 2025 tax year to start here as the calendar ticks over. And then Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has had over 6,300 participants still enrolled that are getting free books for the entire year. And so that those are just the United Way programs we're talking about. Again, there are 64 of them being funded throughout Southwest Michigan that also have their own impact numbers. Hard to gain all of that and put it into one place and do the math over it, but you can pretty much make an assumption that with your help as a volunteer or as a fundraiser for United Way, if you're listening to this, that impact is truly making a huge difference here in Southwest Michigan. So if you ever, obviously tangibility is a little bit hard sometimes when you give money or you give your time, but I can definitely give you some solid, feel good moments here of what happened in 2025 that people were part of.
No, it's greatly appreciated. And you think about 2025, and it's been almost a roller coaster ride, especially for non-government organizations, nonprofits that have been working to help be the safety net for our community. And United Way of Southwest Michigan, you've been right there working to orchestrate a lot of that. So thank you. And I love we had a news story earlier this week talking about things to do in 2026. Put on the checklist. Volunteer. Find something that you're passionate about and volunteer through United Way's portal.
Exactly. And that volunteer portal will be much more active, even more here in 2026 as we are working with our provider to talk about more upgrades and opportunities. And we're certainly talking with a lot of our partners that work with us, including the DeGroot Family Foundation that helps to fund that system that we use, but also just make sure that our staff is well prepared to do things like, help put together projects for organizations that need the help, or work with some of our corporate partners like Gast Manufacturing here in Southwest Michigan. They do copious amounts of volunteer projects, and all of them go through the Volunteer United system. So a lot more to come on volunteerism here in 2026.
Have you put together your list of resolutions yet for 2026?
Well, I think the resolution that I have personally for my work at United Way of Southwest Michigan is that I want to, and our organization wants to continue to be that incredible support system where we can for nonprofits and entities here in Southwest Michigan. That starts at the top with 211, but really sometimes it's just as simple as getting the word out about things like Stuff a Truck with the SMCAA and many other things that happen throughout the community that are not United Way events or things that maybe we fundraise directly for. We just want to make sure that the work that's being done in the community, even if we're not there to support it financially or otherwise, is still being talked about because it's incredibly important. And obviously the organizations appreciate it. The people being affected appreciate it.
Yeah, those are incredible numbers and a great way to illustrate how Southwest Michigan is benefiting from United Way. How can people get involved? How can people learn more information about what's going on?
You can check out uwsm.org. In fact, we have a little piece right now on the website that we'll talk about here next Tuesday, which is getting some volunteers nominated for this year's Margaret B. Upton Volunteer Leadership Award and the Susan L. Delbridge Volunteer Leadership Award. That's for Cass County. So plenty of opportunities to really make sure that volunteers in our community are getting the recognition that they deserve, which they often sometimes don't want. So
excellent. Well, we appreciate everything that you do, and we'll look forward to that volunteer recognition as well. Zack East, United Way of Southwest Michigan, thanks for sharing the update.
Thank you, Ken.